Hello beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we want to talk about reading and how to improve your reading comprehension. So I will talk about 3 strategies that I usually use when I'm reading to understand faster. Usually when I am doing a reading, I think that is one of my strongest points. I've said it before, like reading and listening I'm stronger in than speaking and writing naturally. But I think reading, especially in a lot of exams, when you have it like together, like you have reading, listening, and writing together, I think it really helps if you improve your reading comprehension, because then you get extra time to focus on your writing more. Now, onto the strategies. Number 1, this is like a world famous strategy, and it's called speed reading, where you skim and you look at the whole text but really fast. Now, I have only one thing to say about this. Before you do this, you need to definitely read the questions, read the questions and the answers, and really understand the questions and the answers. So you can always learn some words in the context of the reading, but I really recommend that for the questions and the answers, don't do any like scheming or any speed reading methods. Actually read them and actually understand the questions. In some exams, the questions follow a chronological order, and some others they don't. But you will really get that fast. If you think that the questions make sense one after the other, it's probably in that order. If not, probably not. Then you need to like circle or line under the most important things in the question and the different things in the answers. So for example, if you have a question, is it recommended for kids to get at least 8 hours of sleep every night? And then you have different answers. Of course, the answers are important. Sometimes all the answers are correct. You need to find the answer that is explicitly implied or directly said in the, for example, if the text says because it helps them grow faster and better, but in the answers there's like it makes their bones stronger. Logically, if your bones are stronger, you're growing better. But that does not mean that you can choose that answer necessarily. I mean, if there is no other answer that is more coherent with the text, then okay. But usually they will not put it so far away from what's in the text. All the answers would be close to what's in the text. You need to pick what's exactly implied in the text. And the questions have some clues to guide you. So, for example, when they say, like, first of all, the question word, like what, where, when, how, why, these are really important things to know what you're looking for. So if it's a what question, you're looking for an object or you're looking for something. If it's a why question, you're looking for a cause. This sounds very simple, but then in the context of the questions, when you're under the pressure of the exam, it's important to first get that out of the way so you know what you're looking for when you go back to the reading, to the actual reading, to go look for it. After you completely understood all the questions and the answers, go back to the reading. Now skim through it, understand the title, and understand the main idea of the whole thing. Usually, as we discussed this before in this channel, they follow a logical order. Usually they give you the topic, then in the first paragraph they address one aspect of that topic with examples, and then paragraph 2 another aspect of the topic with examples, and usually paragraph 3 is like a conclusion. Keep that in mind. When you are scheming, you're reading very fast. You're not reading all the words. But pay attention to the key concept and the key aspects that are presented in each paragraph. And, in my opinion, usually there will be some researcher, some data person, whatever, that has a quote in most readings lined up. There usually is a question from that. Now, in speed reading, I think it's important to point out, if you are reading so fast that you don't understand almost anything, you're just reading and you're not concentrated, that's not speed reading. So speed reading, because it has this speed thing in it, and people may think that it means to read as fast as you can. You may read as fast as you can, but you may not understand as fast as you're reading or as fast as your eyes are going. If that's the case, do it a bit slower. I personally, when I speed read, I'm still reading faster than most people. However, that doesn't mean that I'm reading to my fastest potential. Because when I read in my fastest potential, then I don't understand the whole concept. I'm focused on reading more than I am focused. Actually, I'm focused on finishing it more than I'm focused on comprehending it. So the idea with speed reading is to up your speed, not to go to your full speed. I think that distinction is very important to not get you confused when you are trying this method. Another tip that I have for reading, which I think really helps, depending on your level, go to the sources that your exam questions are coming from. So for example, if you are C1 level, your questions are usually coming from articles in like scientific newspapers, like pieces of magazines, like scientific or philosophical, political magazines. So go interact with that media. If you're of a lower level, for example, for B1, your readings are usually from internet articles and forums online, stuff like that. Go read those. So I think it's important to know your level, your CEFR level, and then go look for the material that is correlated with your CEFR level. And that really helps to understand the environment that your reading article in your exam is coming from. Because at the end of the day, the way that you improve your reading comprehension is by reading and comprehending a lot. Unfortunately, it's just practice. So I think using so many resources is really beneficial. Also, if there is a field that you're interested in, always, this works for listening to like podcasts and stuff. This works for everything that's related to learning a language. But when you are interested in a topic, so for example, say you're interested in environmental causes. When you're interested in environmental causes and it directly affects your life, so for example, during the heat wave that we had in Berlin, I was interested in knowing more about the global warming. So I went to research on that and I read articles in German on that. So because it was, number one, a topic that interests me, and number two, it was related to my personal life at that moment. So I think when you create a kind of necessity for that information in your brain to be stored, it really helps you comprehend way faster and way more efficient. And also, you may memorize some stuff and some of the knowledge that you learn, because at the end of the day, it's knowledge that you will learn. And so the topics on the exam will also be very familiar to you. That was what I could think of. If you have any other tips, please put them down in the comments below for others. And thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Bye!